Now, the debate has been heated in the parliament over Manipur, and there has been a strong rebuttal that has been put forth by Home Minister Amit Shah. Now, in a rebuttal that lasted over 2 hours, Amit Shah was categorical in providing information, statistics, facts and figures about what the central government has done to allow for quelling of violence in Manipur. But we are talking about the politics that has been taking place, and he was quick to rebut the remarks that have been posed by the opposition leaders, including Gaurav Gogai and Supriya Sule, with regards to Manipur particularly. I'm going to start my conversation, and let's get on board our political spokespersons who are on the telecast with me. All right, and before I bring in my analysts, let's quickly hear in what Amit Shah, some of the important statements that Amit Shah made while addressing the Lok Sabha today.
मान्यवर में डे 1 से चर्चा के लिए तैयार थे, मगर वो चर्चा नहीं चाहते, उनको विरोध करना था। और मैं कहना चाहता हूं, मेरी चर्चा से संतुष्ट न होते तो फिर कहते प्रधानमंत्री करें, प्रधानमंत्री विचार भी करते, मगर आप सदन में चर्चा ही न होने दो। मणिपुर जैसे महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दे पर गृह मंत्री को अपना पक्ष न रखने दे। किस प्रकार की डेमोक्रेटिक व्यवस्था चाहते हैं माननीय?
All right. So, I have Advocate Mahima Singh. She is the Congress spokesperson. Mahima, obviously a straightforward question that has been asked by Amit Shah, the Home Minister, and I am going to pose that question to you as well, where the government is saying that they are not shying away from conversation, debate and discussion on Manipur. Then why is it that the opposition is hell-bent on creating ruckus? Is it not interested in having a discussion on Manipur?
Jai Hind. Before I respond to your question, Megha, today I think I have an apt couplet that I'd like to cite here. It goes like this. धीमे धीमे कहता क्या है शोर मचा, ये हाकिम ऊंचा सुनता है शोर मचा, दस्तक से जब हक का दरवाजा न खुले, शोर मचाने से खुलेगा शोर मचा. So that is a couplet by a poet, and I quoted it today because what is happening in the parliament today, the no confidence motion had to be brought in because the Prime Minister is hiding somewhere deep. He would just, at no cost turn up in the parliament, and look at the brazen respond and rebuttal by the Home Minister this evening, because I was reminded of a remark by one of their MLAs earlier last month when he said that the flames of fury are actually being fanned by the BJP government, by the CM himself. This is the BJP MLA speaking. This is not me. And I've cited time and again the condition of the other BJP MLAs. And a BJP MLA delegation of 9 MLAs came to Delhi to meet the Prime Minister. They called upon the Prime Minister procedurally so. And we do not know what is keeping him from meeting his own chosen representatives, public representatives, let alone coming to the parliament, let alone having a meaningful debate on a burning state in a country where, this is turning out to be a cascade effect. But what we are seeing is some, farcical melodrama in the parliament, on the floor of the parliament, where the Home Minister...
But why isn't the opposition satisfied with the Prime Minister arriving tomorrow in the parliament, arriving tomorrow in the Lok Sabha and addressing the people, addressing the members of the parliament? The date had already been fixed at least a week and more before.
This, if not now, then when? Even if after the no confidence motion has been moved, even after that, if you will say that, it was already fixed, it was fixed at the behest of the opposition, that does not give up the fight for the people of this country, for the women of this country, for the farmers of this country. And I think that is what every chosen public representative's got to do. However, the government here is evading, is deflecting, is derailing, is denigrating the quality of political discourse that this country must have. So tomorrow the Prime Minister must turn into the parliament, and instead of his theatrics, chest thumping theatrics, He must talk about Manipur. We expect him to talk about the daughters of this country. We must we expect him to call out those who are guilty. We expect him to solicit answers from those who are answerable,
Okay.
including himself
Okay.
and the CM of Manipur.
Okay, all right. My fair analysis is whether a no confidence motion was moved or not, Prime Minister Narendra Modi would have anyway come to the parliament and spoken and addressed the members of the parliament. All right, joining me also on the telecast is Raman Malik from the BJP. Now, Raman Malik, over the attacks that have been made by Rahul Gandhi earlier today in the morning, then it was Gaurav Gogoi, there was Supriya Sule, and a pointed attack that has been made by Rahul Gandhi on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's particularly talked about the death of Manipur, the death of our country, by the way BJP has been going on with its operations or lack of it in Manipur. He's also called Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrogant, comparing him to Ravan.
His mother called him Maut ka Saudagar. You must remember, it is in the DNA to call names. Name calling is in the DNA. So it does not matter. She has an audacity to demean India. That's okay. The son has the system of going out and demeaning India. That's okay. Because that is in the DNA. यहाँ के नहीं है ना. फर्क पड़ता है.
No, but obviously, he's spoken. I would like to understand from you.
Let me complete.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me complete, please.
Okay, yeah.
See, the point is very simple. That to go on to hug somebody in the parliament or to throw flying kisses, well, that comes from a culture which is good with bars and beers and things like that. That's okay. That is something which they might have. Well, but the Indian parliament happens to be, the Bharat ka parliament, Bharat ka Sansad, happens to be a place where 140 crore people look into these 544 people to assess what they are going to talk, do, and think about the future of this great nation, which was, mind you, which was Bharat for hundreds of millennia, and it is India only for the time that the Britishers came in. So one must not forget that Bharat Sanatan tha, Sanatan hai, Sanatan rahega. And it's a Jita Jagta Yaksh Purush. So it thinks, it believes, and it acts. So this philosophy is not known and is alien to Congress. Also, let's understand this, that those whose very origin, the name Gandhi is a scam, the name INC taken by this political outfit is a sham, because Kamraj and Morarji Bhai diluted the Congress R, which was the Congress O, which was the original Congress, and later on this name was again taken back. So there are a lot of things which you start taking out, then it would be a history altogether. But let's talk about the basic agenda. The basic agenda is, when Manipur is being discussed, why people want to talk Manipur, they are not interested to talk Manipur. I'll tell you why. Because the Home Minister today categorically came up in the parliament and said, there are names of leaders. Please ask me, and I will start telling you the name of leaders which are there on the Home Ministry record. Why was Tarun Gogoi shirking out? Why was the Congress shirking out? Why was Kharge shirking out? Why did Sonia shirk out of it?
Would you like to respond, Advocate Mahima? Would you like to respond, particularly with the appeal that has been made by the Home Minister today to ensure peace is maintained, and everybody wants to talk about Manipur to find a solution instead of attacking and counter-attacking each other. Also, an attack that has been made by Home Minister is the change of name that has happened of the UPA into India is something because they are quote-unquote bankrupt, and because of the 12 lakh crore corruption that the UPA has been able to swindle from the country, over the last 30 years and more of its governance in the country?
Allow me. Before I come to respond to that, Megha, ये कहाँ का culture है? और ये कहाँ का culture है?
What is this? What is this?
ये कहाँ का culture है? ये इशारा कहाँ किया जाता है?
मोदी जी की आप फोटो दिखा रहे हैं, बताओ ना ये क्या है?
और
What is
नगर
this
को कहाँ
gesture?
बोलते हैं?
You tell
निशिकांत
me what is this gesture? You
Please
and me are both
mind your discipline.
Mahima, you and
Mind
me are
your
both
discipline.
Tell me what is
Mind your
this
discipline.
gesture?
Have some patience.
What
Have
is
some
this
patience.
gesture, Mahima ji?
Have some
We
patience.
both are
That
adults.
desperation is all
Tell
right.
me what is this
You
gesture?
understand that desperation and fear.
I
It
do
is
not.
all right to be
Tell me
desperate
what
and
is the
fearful.
gesture?
But
Megha, my
say-
submission is she
but
should
let me
not
Since
be
you're talking
here.
about
She
images
should not be
and
given this
the
opportunity
flying
to
kiss
spread
gesture of
venom.
Rahul Gandhi, I will have to say, I don't know if maybe it was just blown out of proportion. The fact that if there can be a parliamentarian who can hug or wink, I don't know, okay, you're diluting the matter. The matter is on Manipur, the matter again on the no confidence motion, the issues that have been raised by several parliamentarians, whether in the opposition or the government side. So why dilute the matter to such a petty issue of Rahul Gandhi then flying kisses, or Rahul Gandhi blowing flying kisses? And then I also want to understand, I took a look at the video. There was one such gesture that had been made by Rahul Gandhi, and in a larger scheme of things, does it really matter?
And to rebut the indisciplined, desperate gentleman's meaningless, useless points, he talked about name calling. Surpanakha. PM Modi on the floor of the house calling Renuka Chaudhary Surpanakha. Nishikant Dubey, who was talking yesterday, who stood up and spoke proudly, he called Mahua Moitra Nagar Vadhu. Congress ki Vidwa, Jersey cow, how many name calling, how many names, how many indecent gestures and expressions of the BJP and their leaders, including my Prime Minister, which I'm ashamed of. How many do I recount? And now what you're asking me, Megha, I had raised a very relevant question right in the beginning. You are asking me that this is what the Home Minister is saying. I am asking them what is keeping the Prime Minister from meeting his own party's chosen public representatives. If they can answer this very fundamental question, then I would very happily answer their very denigrating, very deflecting question that why are we not willing to speak on Manipur?
Yeah.
Because we are the ones that have been speaking on Manipur. We are the ones that took a delegation to Manipur that was never called upon by the Prime Minister or the Home Minister to take insights
the Home
from.
Minister has gone about saying that there was no cooperation that was shown by the opposition parties, and particularly Rahul Gandhi, when the service of using a chopper to arrive at the location was given. So that is one attack that has been made by the BJP, by Amit Shah, by the Home Minister. The second point that had been mentioned by Amit Shah was with regards to why the Prime Minister has not visited Manipur. He's spoken about how several times in the past the Prime Minister has gone to the northeast, including Manipur, and he's put that comparison to the former Prime Ministers under the UPA era and how many of them have visited the northeast or Manipur. But anyway, this is a war of words that is taking place.
Megha, you are a very learned journalist yourself. Don't you think that is lame? How many times the Prime Minister has visited in the past, but Manipur, the way it is burning right now, is unprecedented. The naked parading of women and the videos that went viral is unprecedented. Yet this government will order
the naked
a probe
parading of women
how
in
did the
Rajasthan,
videos
is it
viral,
common?
but they will not order
Is it
a
common
probe
to parade women
how
naked
did
in Rajasthan?
4,500 arms and more
Right.
missing
People-
under the watch of
people
the security
parading
forces.
girls,
Okay, would you like
They
to
will
please
not
burning
order a
girls
probe
in
into
furnaces.
how
I
Is
get
that
your point,
normal for
Naima.
Rajasthan?
Get your point. You've made your point clear. Raman Malik, 30 seconds before I get another.
Ma'am, I want to understand, is it normal? Is it normal for parading women naked in Rajasthan, in Bihar, in other places, or for that matter, burning them and putting them in furnace? Is it normal? And also, let me tell you one thing very categorically. The Manipur issue, we are ready to speak. The Home Ministry is looking into it. It is working on it. And at the right time, the Prime Minister would also do whatever is required in front of the people and camera. But whatever he has to do, he is doing behind the scene. And whom we meet and whom we do not, that's a different issue. But for your information, when you want to go and meet Rahul Gandhi, leaders are given kutte ka biscuit saying, ye piddi khata hai, tum bhi kha lo. So we are not like that. Please do not try and put things in those prospectus.
Okay.
They're different
Okay,
issues.
okay.
Let them be.
Okay.
Megha, first of all, the BJP spokesperson seems to have no sense of linguistics to be used on a national television. Number
Why?
two, he is
Why?
how
What
he
is
is
so wrong?
answered.
हिंदी
How
में
he has answered, he
कुत्ता कहते हैं. What
he
is the
has
problem?
said that it is our choice whether
No,
we
no,
do
no.
or
हिंदी
not.
in
He must
हिंदी
tell us.
Okay.
आपको
He
भारत
must tell us.
भारत की लैंग्वेज से प्रॉब्लम है. आपको
Okay,
भारत की
okay,
लैंग्वेज से
okay.
प्रॉब्लम है.
Let me
Kukur.
also give, fine. This is going to continue, and it's going to be a parallel that is drawn from what is happening in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Quickly getting in, Piyush Joshi is a political analyst, and Piyush, what do you look at the situation after Home Minister's speech? Does that answer a number of questions that have been raised by the opposition over Manipur? Because he's come out with a lot of facts, figures. He's given what exactly is the central government doing in terms of the peace appeal that has been made, in terms of the paramilitary forces that have been at this point in time put on the buffer zone between the Kuki and the Meitei tribes to ensure that there is no violence. There has been violence that has been reduced significantly. There is also mention about how these communities are being interacted with by the center, by these committees that are being formed. So have certain questions of the opposition finally been answered by Home Minister?
Well, I would certainly think so that the Home Minister actually tried to answer the opposition's question but failed miserably in doing so. I have my beliefs for saying that, and the reason that I believe so is because the Home Minister actually failed to mention that how the state police force have failed, that the amount of weaponry which has been stolen from the police thanas and from the police forces all across the state, and what is the rate of recovery of those weaponry, and how the state police failed in registering FIRs, how the victims in the video which actually led the country to a state of boil, why the local thana registered an FIR after almost a period of 2 months. 2.5 months in particular. Now, when we are talking about that, and there is an allegation on behalf of those two women that they were actually being handed over to the mob by the policemen in presence of the policemen. So that is when you say that the law and order of the state has stopped functioning, and time is now ripe for bringing either a president's rule or for a direct intervention of the Union Government of India. Home Minister has gone once, and there was, the whole page advertisements in the newspapers of Manipur that now everything will be stored, and he thanked Manipur for listening to him. But actually, nothing of that sort happened.
Okay.
And Manipur, the violence of Manipur is different than that violence in Rajasthan and other states, because there is an international angle to it.
Okay.
There's a Chinese angle and a Myanmar angle.
Okay, fair enough. Piyush, you made your point. Okay, PKD Nambiar, your inference of what happened in the parliament today, Prime Minister is set to speak tomorrow before the no confidence motion is actually moved. And has the parliament and the parliamentarians really been able to find a solution to Manipur and ensure that there is peace?
See, I think a discussion in parliament is not going to bring any solution. But yes, it will be opening up the conscience of each and every individual in the country that what is happening in Manipur, what has happened, and what are the course corrections the government at the center or at the state governments are doing. That will come in the public. But the only difference is that the drama of no confidence motion was not required for a Manipur discussion, because I remember the before even the parliament session started, none other than the defense minister, who is considered to be a very soft and one of the seasoned politician of India, the Rajnath Singh ji, has very openly said that, accepted that we will be more than keen to discuss the Manipur. But what happened after that is that either my way or highway attitude, that so many days of our parliament functioning has stopped. But whereas yesterday and day before, the parliament was functioning because of the Delhi, the political reason. Manipur was not an issue till 2 days back. From the last 2 days, because they wanted to support the Aam Aadmi Party and show that yes, we are with you for the Delhi bill. and the data protection bill. Of course, they all joined. So the whole idea is that the no confidence motion, as like 5 years back, as the Prime Minister said, 5 years back as well, there was a no confidence motion which was in 2019. And that time in the parliament, the Prime Minister said that 2023 में फिर होगा no confidence motion. And what
Okay.
is happening is a repeat of what happened in 2019, what the opposition did then, and is what they are doing now.
Okay.
The only thing is that the confidence of on whom, I think it is going to be a test of the opposition parties. Yesterday in the Rajya Sabha, 110 and 131 seats. The difference between where is the real
102. Yeah.
people who are supporting and where is the opposition is, it's very, very unclear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Also, Dr. Rajesh Johari, quickly a word from you about whether the no confidence motion is against the NDA, or is it really to test the strength of the opposition alliance India that has been created. Mind you, in the Rajya Sabha, it was the RLD, it was Kapil Sibal who supports Samajwadi Party, and it was JDS who abstained from voting.
Megha, I fully agree with Mr. Nambiar that actually it is not a no confidence motion, as we can understand from the facts and figures of the parliament of today or yesterday. It was actually I think it was aimed at uniting the opposition and creating conditions so that the government must respond, and PM has to respond, PM has to give a statement, and after all take this is parliament, all the activities and all sessions of parliament are seen by the people across the world, so the matter goes to it becomes everybody becomes aware of it. So but what I have analyzed from today's and from yesterday's deliberations by various MPs and today's home ministers, that I think opposition has given Home Minister a chance to showcase his government's efforts. Now, using this issue, he Mr. Shah was able to highlight each and every move that they had done, and
fair enough. You know, okay, fine, but quickly. I'll quickly get Major General Sudhakar ji, you know, a last word with you. Now, understanding, is it, you know, being a citizen of our country and watching what is happening in the parliament, in both the houses, and the past 3 weeks that have now finally going to be completed on Friday, should the question then arises whether it is of futility to have these budget sessions and monsoon sessions and winter sessions of the parliament?
Megha, good evening. Thank you. I'm quite cautious of the fact that the time is ending in this session. It's 8 p.m. At the cost of reputation, let me show once again through the camera to all our viewers. This is a book everyone must read to find an answer to the current problem of Manipur. This I have shown earlier. Mr. Nambiar will bear me out.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that it's too serious an issue to be handled in this manner. As a military man, I personally feel that I am not supposed to comment on issues which are political in nature, but the issue per se is not political. It's a national security challenge. It's not Manipur in isolation. It's an international conspiracy. This book gives out such issues which I am afraid I will not be able to share with the viewers through your channel, because my name will be misquoted, because the same issues are being contested by very eminent personalities. So that is one part. Secondly, keeping in view the time that you have given me, I personally feel there should have been an all-party meeting much ahead of time. I would say about 2 months back, immediately after the incident took place. Number two, there should have been, first of all, how to contain the situation, bring peace and harmony. And third and most important point, in any such kind of security breach taking place anywhere in the country, ultimate analysis of any debate, whether it is no confidence motion was redundant. It was not required. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money of the exchequer. People must be asked questions as to why have they done this. They should be asked to actually be accountable to all this. In my opinion, they should have actually held some kind of an all-party meeting and found out following things. First, how to prevent a recurrence of a similar situation in future, number one. Number two, the answer would have taken us a quick, the short term, the mid term, and the long term. It's a border state.
Okay.
We know that Myanmar has fallen out of place.
Fair enough. While this political bickering continues, the next half an hour I am going to devote on the Manipur action plan, about the statistics that we've gotten, the facts and figures, and what should be the next course of action. Can political parties let go of their differences and come together to ensure that peace is sustained in Manipur, and also take a look at the violent incidents that have taken place across the country, violent incidents that have taken place against the women of our country, whether it is Rajasthan or Manipur or Madhya Pradesh or West Bengal, doesn't matter which political party rules these states. What matters is that the country needs to come together, political parties need to come together to fight this menace against women of our country. Thank you all for watching me on the telecast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.